All right, back for the next Gren Twigs video. Where we left off last time, we were pulling the count for our little clicker app out of local storage and handling the error when, if and when that happens. But we're not actually setting it, so let's do that. Where are we going to set it? We're going to set it when somebody clicks plus or minus. That updated count we will set in local storage. So similar to how we called local storage.get, instead we're going to call .set. And we're going to set this to this new count plus 1, but we're doing some logic here. I don't want to do it in two places, so let's capture that in a variable first. So I'll say new value is model.count plus 1. This let in syntax is how you can define variables, you know, whatever, and they'll be in scope for whatever expression is after it. So I created new value. I'll set it here. Not new value, new count. New value is silly. Why did I call it that? New count is what I wanted. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it like that. I know I'm gonna get a compiler error, but I want to talk about it, so I will allow it. And just like when we called get, we have a task as a result of calling this function. Now we have to turn the task into a command, and we're going to do that with .attempt because this is a task that could fail, and we will have to handle that failure. So let's make a new message for the case where we're setting the count. We have a got count message. Let's make a set count message. Let's see what the compiler starts telling us to do. So we didn't actually create that, so let's do that. It'll be shaped almost exactly like the got count, except the error case will be a write error. And the value case, I mean, I could show you the docs, but the value type is just this empty record. It means it's, you know, it's a value that doesn't actually matter. So when we set something, the error is the only thing that matters. If it doesn't have an error, we're good. All right, now it's saying, yes, this is what I was realizing earlier. You can't set it to an int. You have to, it can only hold strings. So string.fromInt is the function that I want. Now Gren caught that we added a message, but we're not handling it everywhere. So it's our update function is matching on our message, but we have a new type of message and we have to handle that. So we're going to handle it similar to got count. Almost the shape will be very much the same. So when got count is okay, we don't care about the value, then there's really nothing to do. We set it, there's no error, we're good to go. So we'll return a record where the model hasn't changed and there is no command. In the case where set count is an error, let's add that to our model. So it's going to be our old model, whoops, where the error field is updated to hold an error, and let's match on that. When the error is web storage, what are the potential errors here? Let's look at the docs. So going back to the browser package on packages.grenlang.org, web storage holds our error types, and we have to deal with write errors this time. So we have quota exceeded and write blocked. When we have quota exceeded, it's going to be, what do we call that? Storage full, I think. Gren will tell me if I'm wrong. And I have it preceded with just because remember this field does not hold an error, it holds a maybe error. And so in this case we have a value, so we're creating a just variant. And what was the other one? Write blocked. In which case it will be just storage disabled. And the command is nothing. I think we're good. All right, it's definitely not write blocked. There we go. So before I try to run the app, we're setting this when they click plus. Let's do the same thing when they click minus. Similarly, I will create a new count variable set to model.count, this time -1, and it is in scope here. All right. It's running, so let's try to run it. You know what? Before I run it, nothing in local storage. That's not really an error. Let's clean that up a little bit. So when it's no value, we will just let that be an empty string. Okay. There we go. Now we can click. We're still not seeing an error. That's good. What happens if I refresh? Hey, all right. What happens if I go to a new browser tab? Hey, look at that. It's still 6. All right. I can click to my heart's content, come back later. Years on end, I can make the number go up. I love it. Now let's make sure our error handling is still working. So now if we want to trigger, I have to either get a quote a full error. I don't want to do that. Let me go. I think it's about config gets me what I want. Proceed with caution. Sure, I will be so cautious. dom.storage. I looked this up earlier. It's dom.storage.enabled is the thing that I want. So I'm going to turn off local storage. False. Now what happens? Local storage is disabled. Oh no. And what happens if I try to do a set? It's still local storage is disabled. Well, that's what I want to see. Great. We have a working app. If I will, if you go to github.com/Blakes, there's a Gren Twigs repo. I'll commit what we've got. I've been committing as we go, and I've got tags for, you know, where things fall in the episodes. So if you want to see the code, you can go there. I think after this, I will start going down some other avenues. I think maybe next I will talk about targeting Node instead of the browser, and probably not have quite as many, you know, 15 episode long tutorial runs, and it'll be a little more, a little less groundwork, tutorial, foundational stuff, and a little more, hey, here's a cool thing about Gren. Looking forward to it.